Some of the things that we have learned since is I've learned to calculate the decline in blast pressure with distance, so that I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was no ammonium nitrate bomb exploded there. And even if there were, there's not possible that it could have done any damage, because the government reported that the size of the bomb would have generated 500,000 pounds per square inch of pressure, which sounds like a lot, and is a lot. And of course, I would never allowed to have structural engineers come in and tell me how strong the columns inside the building were designed to be. I found out much later that they were designed to withstand 3,500 pounds per square inch of pressure. Well, it sounds like on the face that 500,000 wouldn't have any trouble taking out 3,500. But the problem comes in is when you go to calculating the decline in pressure with distance. In the formula, you have blast pressure over the distance cubed. Well, we used 10. It may have been 12. I didn't actually measure the width of the sidewalk down there. But when I got to it, I mean, they tore all that out. There's no sidewalk anymore. But I'm familiar with the building, and it was at least 10 feet, could have been 12 feet to the nearest column. So we'll use 10 because that's easy to calculate. And you put BP for blast pressure over 10 times 10 times 10. That's 10. That's distance cubed. And you multiply that out, 10 times 10 times time, and you end up with 1,000. 10 times 10 is 100, and 100 times 10 is 1,000. So you got 500,000 over 1,000. So then you divide the 500,000 by the 1,000, and you're left with 500 pounds per square inch of pressure. Not even close enough, not any chance strong enough to knock out any column in that building.
Didn't they say by the time it actually got to the deepest bite in the building, it was about the equivalent of 10 hair dryers?
Well, there's no way that pressure can travel in a straight line down the front of the building in the eastward direction and then stop and turn into the building and make that large indentation and take out all of those massive columns way back deep in the building, much further away from columns that were right in front of the bomb. And I've got photos of those columns, and the sheetrock is not even damaged on the bomb. You can see the gray, from the fault ceiling to the top of the column, it's gray. That's the concrete. From the fault ceiling down, it's white, and that was the drywall. That was the sheetrock that was painted white. And you can see that the bomb didn't even tear up the drywall, the sheetrock. I mean, if it can't damage sheetrock, it's not going to damage concrete.
And in the documentary, we show the actual photographs of this. Columns that were closer to the bomb still has the sheetrock on, and we've got the photographs. Columns farther away were supposedly destroyed by this, this truck bomb with ammonium nitrate and fuel oil. We've got street interviews where people, that day were talking about the additional ordnance that were removed from the building, disarmed. We got people from the military talking about a second larger device being disarmed, the day of later in the day of April 19th. General Parton, his report shows where the additional ordnance would have to be placed to create the damage pattern that we see at the Murrah building. The biggest bite in the building is offset from the crater. And again, the crater was much smaller than what the official report says, but it would have had to have gone forward and taken a right-hand turn. It's like the magic bomb. It's like the magic bullet,